Okay, I'm back, and in this video I'm going to show you how to add a little loop to your textured marble fidget toy. I originally designed this project without a loop, and the original pattern does not have a loop, but I realized this is another one of my patterns. This is the Peapod marble fidget toy, and I designed this one with a loop, and although the technique differs, I figured, what the heck, I can add a loop for people. Maybe they'll like it, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Okay, here we go. My recently completed textured marble fidget toy with the infinity variation, and I'm going to add a loop to this one. So I like these projects because they're little skill builders, they're useful, fun ways to practice things you might work on another project. Everything is all seamed up. I have another video where I've shown how to graft the top edge together. So here we're going to go back after the fact and say, you know what, I wish I had an icord trim. Ask and you shall receive. Here's how to do it. I'm going to go ahead and just insert my needle into 3 stitches right along this top edge, because I'm going to create a 3-stitch I-cord. Okay, it's okay if they're not exactly perfect. I think it's going to work out just fine. I inserted them from right to left. You can insert them from left to right. It really doesn't matter which way you do it, but this will allow me to make a little I-cord trim that happens at the edge. So I'm going to reattach my my working yarn right here. I have more of this gray yarn, and I'm going to just knit I-cord right here. And as you recall, knitting I-cord is just knitting. This one is over 3 stitches. I'm going to leave a nice long tail that I can weave in later. I seem to have actually picked up, I think maybe I missed a stitch right there, but it's going to work out okay. I've knit 3 stitches right across here, and then without turning the work, I'm going to return my stitches to my left needle, keeping my yarn behind the work, always in my knit position, and I'm going to knit my 3 stitches again. So what ends up happening in I-cord, I've mentioned this before, but I never turn the fabric. The yarn technically goes around the back side and it forms this really lovely little tube. And that's how I go. That's how I do it. So I'm going to continue with my I-cord until it is as long as I like. I would say maybe about 3 inches, but it's really whatever you prefer. If you're going to attach this to a keychain, or if you prefer to have it just something that you can hold on to with your finger, it's however long you prefer. I'll meet you back in a minute. Okay, I've knit about 3 inches of I-cord. You can do whatever dimension you like. Just take a look at the loop right here. And I am ready to attach it to the other end. So a couple ways you can do this. You could simply bind off the 3 stitches and then sew them to the other side. But I want to show you how I prefer to do it, which is to actually pick up stitches from the other side of the work and graft things together. So let me kind of pull this up a little closer to show you. So my I-cord's coming out of this side of the work. I've gone ahead and turned the work around so that the needle I've been working with and the working yarn are coming off of the back needle. I'm taking the other end of the needle tip, and I'm just going to do, I should move into the frame. I'm going to do my best to go ahead and just pick up 3 stitches on the other side of the work. You see what I'm doing? It's really, if I don't get it exactly right, I still think it's going to work out just fine. So now I'm kind of sandwiching those stitches together. Ooh, I lost them off the needle, and you know what? It's going to be okay. We're going to pick them back up, put them back down. Okay. I am going to take my scissors, cut my working yarn so that I can graft these stitches together. I always like to go a little longer than I need to for cutting that working yarn. So I can always trim it, but it is a little harder to add it later. And so now I'm ready, just as we did. I had another video where I showed you how I close the top by grafting the stitches. We are going to graft these 3 stitches together. So I'm going to thread my yarn onto my tapestry needle and graft them. I like these smaller projects because you get to practice some techniques. It's pretty low stakes if it doesn't really work out right. All right, so same steps we did before. My yarn is coming from my back needle on the right stitch. I'm ready to work this one on the front. So insert into the first stitch on the front needle as if to knit, pull that stitch off, insert as if to purl, and leave the stitch on. Oops, I guess I should turn my hand a little bit. Going to the back needle, insert as if to purl, slide it off, insert as if to knit, and leave it on. I'm a third of the way through. Woohoo! Insert on the front as if to knit, slide it off, insert as if to purl, leave it on. Insert as if to purl on the back, slide it off, insert as if to knit, and here I am, last steps. Insert as if to knit on the front, and I actually think mine is not perfect, but it's going to be just great. And insert as if to purl on the back. As needed, I can take this tail of my yarn, make sure I'm showing you the right thing. I can sew it together a little bit, kind of go up and down a couple of times, and again leave that tail yarn, kind of weave it through the end of the work. And then here was the cast on side for the icord. Go ahead and thread that one on, and just secure that tail, make sure it's not going anywhere. If I like just putting that tail end back through the top of the work, pulling it through. I guess I actually have to pull it through. I missed it. Let's do it again. I can show you what I'm doing. Just pulling it all the way back through the other side. There's that little tail, and then depending on how long you've cut the tail, you can actually just kind of pull things. Maybe I want to trim this one a little bit. As I said in the other video, I like to pull it a little bit, and then as it goes back together, there it is. That's it. We did it. I've got my fidget toy. I've got my icord loop. It is attached at both sides, and you're ready to go. Thanks.